what is art? What is it? It's subjective, right? So even if you don't perceive something as art, it doesn't make it any less art. You look at like what Tatum 44 does with his Etch-a-Sketch, right? His drawings, or what he does with his with the peach pits. And I still want a Darth Vader peach pit carving, Tatum 44. Just let me know about that, because that would be art to me. But what is art? I think, I mean, the AI image race, as I mentioned earlier here, is on. It's happening. Hey, Mr. Rick is asking if we have any dall-e prompts. He'd run them, post them on Discord. Yeah, we were running Star Wars Dia de los Muertos earlier. Hey, Mr. Rick, and then my midjourney free trial turned off, and I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to pick up a subscription for $30 a month, because honestly, this type of tool is so fascinating to me, because I can't make that. I could commission someone to make it, sure, but that's still being done through their eyes, through their style, through the way that they do things, right? As themselves as an artist. Hey, Triple Venti, we're just talking about AI and art and all these image generators. Oh, you've been planning to do it in your head? Oh, Tatum 44, let me know. Well, then you get into the nature of transformative art forms. I'm on the fence about it myself. Well, but that's the thing, is what is art? And when I'm generating these thoughts and these ideas, and it comes up with something like the Darth Vader made out of French fries example, was just so perfect, because I could not have imagined it. I thought Darth Vader French fries, in the way that I think about it, may not be how AI thinks about it, right? And there are many ways to, quote unquote, think about it before something ultimately gets rendered. And the example that I'm talking about, I'm just blown away. Like, this image is wild to me. Like, I'm just like, it is so cool. I'm like, that is so cool. Could I have asked an artist to do it? Yes. Would an artist have the time? Yes, possibly. Would they have the inclination? Maybe. Do they have a style that would match my interest? So just because AI is generating images that you're feeding it through a prompt, doesn't take away, and then it creates an image, does not take away from an artist's skill at all. It doesn't take it away. Art is not one doesn't replace another, right? Just because you paint the Eiffel Tower doesn't mean that all the other Eiffel Towers that were painted before, like, completely are irrelevant and they no longer exist, right? So from that perspective, yeah, I think I know, hun. I'm talking about
What are these?
Figures. So Star Wars figures. The idea of being able to generate something new from a simple prompt and get what gives you a visceral reaction of joy or enjoyment or just pleasure, it impacts you in some way. That computer generated image, I don't think, and I realize this is very controversial to say, I don't think it's any less art than, quote unquote, traditional art or human-made art at all. And me enjoying this image of Darth Vader made of French fries does not necessarily take away from my enjoyment of seeing other people's interpretations of Darth Vader made out of French fries in various styles. So it's, I don't think, going to replace artists and illustrators. There's always going to be a need. And if anything, this democratizes image generation, and it's going to get better. Like, because right now, like, human beings, you kind of fudge the details, at least it's really not exactly perfect, but it's going to improve, and it's going to democratize the ability to effectively generate unique images. Anybody could do it. Anybody. And being able to generate an image may be contingent on your ability, just like Google. You remember Google Foo? Like, your ability to to Google something and have it, return results that you were looking for. Google's gotten better with it, but back in the day, you had to be really, really skilled with how you search for something on Google. I think the same thing is going to happen, or will happen, or likely is happening, specifically with these AI image generators, or at least the ones that I've used. Wombo Dream, Midjourney, dall-e Mini. I don't have access to dall-e yet, but I'm sucked in. I'm in. This is fun. But as I said, it's going to democratize this, not taking away from the skill or the need for or the value of a human being. So again, anybody can generate an image. Why pay for a human being? I'm like, well, that kind of makes it worth more because it is unique and it wasn't generated by a computer. There is scarcity in that. It was, hands-on. It's like people who, you could get a physical, like a real autograph, like the one I got, from Dave Prowse or any of the Star Wars folk. I have an actual autograph. It was physically autographed by a individual who is no longer around. Like it was physically manifested, right? It is truly unique. Now, I could have purchased a not a signed lithograph, but one that was just basically what do they call them? They're signed, but it's not an autograph, but it's a signature, but it's an imprint. It's not unique. I mean, it may be, there may be a limited run of 50 or whatever, but like it's not unique. And I think in my head, the same logic applies to what we're discussing here with all this. You uploaded a French Fry Vader? Okay, let me pop over to Discord here. Give me a second. I gotta open it up again. In show and tell? Thank you. It's an interesting debate to have, and I think we're beginning to understand where all this kind of comes into play, right? You did it in memes and jokes. Sorry, I was looking in show and tell. Oh, wild, dude. See, it's a completely different interpretation. It's Darth Vader-esque. Burnt fry. It's just. I mean, to me, this is exciting. How you could not be excited in seeing this and trying it is just, well, I know what gets me excited, and this kind of software that allows me to do something I couldn't do before is what got me excited about software way back in the day. Not that I'm sitting around just generating images at random all the time. I don't have the time or the bandwidth or necessarily the inclination to do all that. But it is still something that I'm going to be following with great interest and generating countless images. Many Darth Vader French fry images, I'm sure, are in my future. Oh, and congratulations, Triple Venti. I'm glad you got started into 3D printing. Happy to help you along on that journey, and I'm glad that you were streaming on MakerDeck today.